wish ICE would come into my church and try to take somebody up out of there. Can you imagine you sitting in church? Okay, hold up. Time out. Let me start over. Even as the people that work for ICE, right? How do you feel in your heart, in your mind, that it is okay to roll up in a church, or these kids in school? You're going to go take these little children, these babies, out of their classroom and take them away from their family. Or vice versa. You take the parents away from these little babies. They come home from school or get left at school because their parents then got snatched up by ICE. How do you work for ICE? How is that your job choice?
Hi beautiful people, trust y'all are doing good. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's no longer news that the ice cream truck is around and serving some really cold ice cream. So in today's video,
Chismosas, I have an update for you guys about the raids that have been happening around the country. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, then you probably know I have been trying to keep you guys as up to date as I possibly can. And it looks like the ice cream truck agency has just confirmed that they are currently targeting individuals from these 4 different countries. If you're asking what countries, it's Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, and El Salvador. Now, why is this happening, you may ask? Well, that's a fine question. Well, apparently, allegedly, supposedly, they're only doing this because they're saying, well, we're going to start with everybody who has an order of deportation. And these 4 countries are the ones with the most order of deportation. As you can see from the graph, it goes from the most to least. And you know, if you guys have watched my previous videos, they have gone from saying that they are only going to detain or arrest individuals that have a criminal record to saying that everybody who is undocumented is going to be considered a criminal. So here we stand today. Now, I've seen a lot of people covering this in Spanish, but I had a lot of people asking me to cover it in English because not everybody who is Latino or Hispanic understands perfect Spanish, and they wanted this to be a resource for them. So of course, this is what I do on my page, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Now, one of the main questions I always get in my DMs is, oh, is this only going to be a deportation for Mexicans? Is this only going to be for this? Is this only going to be for that? And I understand that people are scared, but I think everybody needs to realize that if they are like out there doing raids, they're not just going to stop and be like, hey, are you Mexican? Are you Guatemalan? Are you from El Salvador? No, they're not going to care. They're literally arresting even citizens right now. So nobody is safe. So it doesn't matter where you're from. Everybody should be standing together. So like I say in all my videos, you already know, don't trust them just because they say that doesn't mean anything. They always come quick with that switch up. Así que no se confíen. And of course, I'm going to keep updating you guys as I find out more information. So don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, chisme, and all things tea.
So the ICE raid started today, and I'm going to tell you how this is going to benefit the regular working class American. Let me explain. You are going to work your whole life, and you are going to accumulate assets and retirement. And then when you're about 60 years old, you're going to get what's called asshole cancer. Okay? You're desperately going to want to live because your grandkids are being born and you want to see them grow up. And then in your struggle to survive, the government and insurance companies are going to take everything that you've ever worked for, ever. Your legacy, you're not going to leave shit for your children, right? So this is how it benefits you. Because on your deathbed, you can say, at least I rounded up all the brown people. At least trans people aren't using the bathroom anymore. None of this benefits you. None of this is going to make your life more prosperous, all right? So I would really like to not focus on poor brown farm workers that definitely are not stealing your fucking job. I know because I grew up in a migrant community on an Indian reservation.
I keep seeing so many people talk about ICE and what happens during deportation, and they keep forgetting a very crucial point on how to prepare for if that happens to you. Everyone's talking about, put on a card, I'm not going to answer any questions, I'm not signing anything, and I want to speak to a lawyer. There's, probably better videos that explain what to put on the card to hand to them. But a really big, crucial information to prepare for this kind of event is that it's not always going to be immigration or ICE that comes to your door, they're not going to be the ones knocking saying, ICE, open up. Sometimes it's going to be the police. And I had a personal experience where someone that I know, I'm not going to say who, a family member got a knock on their door. It was police. Maybe it's different for everyone and there's probably different circumstances. I'm not really sure. I just want to put out there that it's not always going to be the people you think it is. And when they showed up at that family member's door, I had a woman was asking, why are you here? Why are you asking for him? What did he do? And they did not answer anything. They just specifically wanted this person. As soon as he came out and he was in handcuffs, and they said he was arrested, they walked out of the apartment. A swarm of other police and immigration came, and that's when we knew it was ICE. Like, we didn't know just based on the knocking. Everyone's making these videos of knocking and this is ICE, open up, knocking, this is immigration, open up. That's not always the case. So prepare for any type of government official coming. In our case, it was the police, and they showed up as the police. Again, it could be due to circumstance. It could be different for other people, but I do think that is important information to put out there for people to know. So
28% of farm workers in Texas and 49% of farm workers in California haven't showed up for work. That means if they don't go back to work, food is about to be extremely scarce and extremely expensive, and there's only one group of people to blame.
Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm currently going down to Pike Place Market to go check up on a lot of like the pop-up vendors, like the people who sell frutas, tamales, and it's the weekend, so they always have a pop-up down there. So we're just gonna go down there, go distribute some of the red cards that we got, just the rights and all that, and go see if they, just to any people who possibly could need assistance, or just inform people as well, So yeah, that's kind of where I'm about to go down there and go see what it's looking like down there. Oh, the tamale girl is not here. It was usually here where it was like pretty much set up. But let's go check on the waterfront. The waterfront is where they have at least like 8 or 10 vendors usually. Bro, even walking around here, there's not much of the raza here. I think I've seen maybe like 2 or 3, I'll say like a handful, like Hispanic looking people. It's a little weird out here.
Oh, abajo, okay.
Porque me recuerdo que también había una señora que vendía tamales ahí arriba.
Ajá, pero ya no está, creo yo.
Sí, no llegó hoy.
No, debe andar la señora.
Sí.
¿La verdad? No, fíjese que no. No, yo soy de Nicaragua, yo soy de Nicaragua. Sí. Por eso me mandan, no es que no se ven ni a mi jefe. Ya.
Sí.
No, pero usted, no.
Ahí tienen los derechos para si algo pasa y...
Uno de nuestros amigos agarró para su negocio, nos dan extra para pasarlos también. Sí, le cuesta, bueno, dile, buena.
Sí.
No, claro, bueno.
Here's the other spot where usually the other vendors they're also not here. And usually there's like 2 more over here as well, which they're also not here. No, yeah, it's definitely looking like a ghost town, so to speak, with like Hispanics. It's like a lot of the consensus of people here, they're just saying that the Latinos are not out, rightfully so with everything that's going on, Look, guys, but all this to say is that this is very real, and a lot of the comments are saying, well, if this hasn't happened to me, well, I haven't seen this. The thing is, like, look what's going on in Monroe, and I grew up in Monroe, Snohomish, Everett area. Also, look what happened in Everett, and like, there's so many cases going on. This is Seattle, so it's like very like calm compared to what's really happening down at the border. But as long as I'm here, I'm gonna keep on reporting. So that's pretty much it.
This is the message that I got this morning, and keep the time. This is the message that thousands across our country are sending right now, and I want you to take that in for a second. These are people that are waking up at the ass crack of dawn to make sure that you have food on your table tonight, to make sure that your coffee is hot this morning, to make sure that your shit is clean before you go into the office. Some of you make a little bit of money 50, 60, 70, 80K. While mind you, that our palm peers are making double that, starting off. Forget where you came from. You forget where your parents came from. You no longer acknowledge or recognize the struggle that your people had to do to get you to where you are. And you turn your back on your own people, all because you're too scared to speak up against the white man. You should be ashamed. You should be embarrassed to vacation in Mexico. You should be embarrassed to celebrate our holidays. It's bad enough that people that don't look like us treat us this way, that we don't need our own people to do that.
Well, good to know that you have found out, because your own people are the ones treating you the wrong way. I mean, it's bad enough, when somebody doesn't look like treats you differently. It wouldn't, you wouldn't feel pained as much as somebody that looks like you speak the same language, you come from the same place, your ancestral root is from the same source, you know, you come from the same place. But because, circumstances have changed, such a person is more privileged than you. That person has, been able to legalize this herself one way or the other. And then you are just there, thinking that, oh, this person is my friend. This person got my back. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but you are driving the wrong vehicle. You might need to change steering wheels because that vehicle is about to crash. Because tell me why people that you share common interests with from the same place, went against your interests. I mean, about 43% of the whole Latino vote was about Trump. And that was a significant 8% increase from 2020. So the intention was clear from the beginning. They were out, to vote President Trump. So there was no hanky panky about it. There was no, uncertainty about it. It was clear from the beginning. So sometimes, I really feel, sad, especially when I see those videos. I saw a couple of videos where people were raided at their working place, and somebody was just recording in the corner where people were actually raided at different places, the way they were handled and all of that. It looked really sad and pathetic. I saw some videos, some crying children, it was just so emotional, especially for the children. My heart really goes out to those innocent kids. But when you trace it down to the source, it's even it's even sadder. Anything like sadder? It's even sadder to discover that your own people put you in that position. But like I always say, it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, people do what favors them. But it shouldn't be so. We should always look out for each other. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I really love to hear from you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can know when I post a new video. It's gonna be a longer idea, and we are all here for the teas. Thank you, Go. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing. And I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to stay safe. Ciao.